How about now? There we go. Hello and welcome aboard the Gallant Says podcast on this Friday. Gotta get down on Friday, October 20th of 2023. Sorry about the delay to get this thing started. You know what we're about to do.
Why did they argue the umpire's call? Why did the fielders crash into walls? Why do you think the pitchers throw smoke? Why do you think they go for broke? Who says it's only a game? Why do the catchers wear iron masks? Why do they dive for the dive on the grass? Why do they go head first into home? Why do the losers feel all alone? Who says it's only a game? When you wanted to give it all you got, the war's not over till the final shot. It's pride and glory and fame. Who says it's only a game? Why do you think they call them spikes? Why do you think they call them strikes? Why do they give it more than they've got? Why do they always reach for the top? Who says it's only a game?
Astros baseball. Who says it's only a game? I am so happy with what I saw with a lot of our ESPN 97.5 and 92.5 listeners this evening out at East River 9. That was a hell of a baseball game. And it started off very well for the Astros. First inning, Alex Bregman homers with 2 outs. You're feeling like this thing is going to go like it did in Game 4 and in Game 3. To the Rangers' credit, they gave a good game today. That was a hell of a baseball game. I thought Jordan Montgomery pitched pretty well for Texas. I thought Justin Verlander for a while pitched very well for the Astros. You get into the 9th inning, though, after an incident with Adolis Garcia that we'll discuss in a moment. He goes yard. It's 4-2. It was such a gut punch. And you know how good Adolis Garcia is against the Astros. The way he pimp walked with that. Look, big moment for the Rangers. But we'll give the Astros perspective in just a moment. So you get to the 9th inning. And all of a sudden, you're seeing some crazy shit. First off, Yainer Diaz is in. For Jeremy Pena. Okay. You're not feeling Pena? Dusty Baker's out of the game. Yainer Diaz gets a single. Biggest hit of his career. Good for him. I know there was a lot of arguments to be made about Yainer Diaz potentially being unintentionally sabotaged by Dusty Baker by not using him as much in the playoffs. The kid came through with the hit. Then after that, John Singleton, who for all of his faults does have a good eye, draws a walk. And that was a tense walk. You forget that Gray Kessinger's on the roster. He comes in, and it's Jose Altuve. What's funny is, when Singleton was at the plate, John Granato of ESPN 97.5 and 92.5, he's been doing the morning show there for 2 decades. And he just says, oh, Altuve's going to go yard. It's going to be a 3-run homer. That is the kind of faith that you have in this guy, whether it's at Globe Life Park or anywhere else, but he really owns Globe Life Park. But Altuve comes to the plate, skies it to left field. You're like, wait a second. Did that motherfucker, Evan Carter, a tip of the hat, that's a polite motherfucker. Did that guy just rob the ball? Couldn't tell for a second, but you notice he was still going around the bases. 3-run homer, 5-4 lead. I mean, holy shit. This team, for a person who is not from Houston originally, but part of a city of many transplants that has welcomed me and has become my home, it is truly incredible what that guy, over anyone else on the Astros, has done for this entire run. And I'm not just talking about 2017 on. I'm talking 2014 when this team sucked. 2015 when they first arrived on the scene. 2016 where they underachieved. I'm talking about the build up to that. I'm talking about since then. He is the greatest Astro in history. It's not even a question when he is as clutch as that. And when you actually feel at the plate in your plums that this thing is safe. We were all feeling like shit with the Rangers up 4-2, right? It's not just that Adolis Garcia hit the home run, the 3-run homer, and that Verlander maybe should have been pulled before that inning. It's also that the Astros in the half inning before had the bases loaded with one out. And the inning before, they had, with runners on first and second, also the same kind of situation. They don't get any runs out of that either. And you're thinking, damn, are these missed opportunities finally going to catch up? And that guy comes in. And I mean, that's the Jose fucking Altuve story, man. It was a surreal scene at East River 9. I'm just really thankful that I get to cover this team. And I know that I act like an arrogant prick and condescending all the time, but when they do deliver these moments that really feel this special, I mean, it's hard to not get emotional, right? Like, it's just incredible that they keep delivering and delivering and delivering and delivering. And specifically that guy. Specifically fucking that guy. I am so happy Jose Altuve is a Houston Astro. I'm happy he's ours. And you know what? All these other people outside of town can hate on him all they want. They don't fucking know who he is as a person. And they don't respect him as a player. This city always will. It's a shame that he's been slandered by, let's be honest, bitter Yankee fans. The buzzer thing, unfounded. Libelous if it comes from an actual media source. No offense to John Boy Media. I know they do a lot for baseball, blah, blah, blah. But, I mean, this guy's just an incredible player. So clutch. Not nearly respected as much as he needs to be. And, I mean, that was just a fucking awesome at-bat. We got a lot of comments to go through. This is probably the most people I've ever had on my YouTube channel. Shout out to everybody who's joined. This is also probably the most people I've ever had. Actually, you know what? We've had more on the Twitch. But holy shit, guys. I mean, my voice is gone because I was yelling as much as I did. And I'll tell you where I yelled the most. Now, anyone who's been watching this game, we're all biased, right? We can admit that. We're all biased. And that we're going to be a little bit more annoyed when a call that's a borderline strike doesn't go our way. Much like a Rangers fan would say the same thing, right? We're being rational here. We're a little bit biased. But it's hard not to walk away from tonight's game looking at the specifically outside part of the plate for righties and lefties and wonder just about the umpire's competence. I'm not sure who the home plate umpire is behind the plate. I think it's a difficult job to be a home plate umpire. The strike zone, whatever the fuck, it does make him look bad more often than not. But man, his outside was inconsistent at best. That's putting it politely. So, after Adolis Garcia hits that home run, I didn't see the pimp walk. They didn't show it on the television. At least I don't remember seeing it in the moment. I might have looked away from my TV. I might have cussed. I might have tweeted out something. I don't fucking know. It did feel inevitable in that inning with the way that it started for Verlander that he was going to go out of the yard. But I honestly did not know until they showed Garcia losing his shit after he got hit. And that's one of the problems of watching a game at a bar. You get a little bit distracted. So hand up. Should have been a little more attentive there. But when Abreu hit him, I really want to know what was going through Adolis Garcia's head. And for the Rangers, this is new. For the Astros, this is not. But think about it from this perspective. No matter what Adolis Garcia did there, like the Astros have been in the playoffs for how many of the last 7 years? All of them? They've been in the ALCS in all of those years. Do you think they're the kind of team to unravel and lose their temper over Garcia flipping his bat, pimp walking down to first base. Like, with all the shit that this organization has been through, that's going to get under their skin. Look at that rationally. Maybe you're a Rangers fan that just jumped in there. Look at that moment rationally and try to explain to me why Abreu would have thrown at Garcia, given the context of where the Astros have been for all of these years. And on top of that, given the situation, they're down 2-0 with no outs. I suppose it's a better way to intentionally walk Garcia after he hit that home run. But whatever Maldi said, and I don't know if it's going to turn into something with Hector Neris. I haven't seen anything on Twitter, at least of yet. And I'll check the comments section in a moment to see if there's anything there. But he turned to Martin Maldonado, and Maldonado acted calm. Maldonado did not get back in his face. This was not Alex Rodriguez versus Jason Varitek with the Red Sox back in 2004. This was Adolis Garcia getting in the face of Martin Maldonado. The bench is cleared. And again, if I were to get in a fight with one of these guys, they would kick my ass, no doubt about it. However, I like to think that I have a little bit of a backbone. Perhaps I bite off more than I can chew at times. I think it was a bitch move by Adolis Garcia to go back into the fray towards whoever he was mad at because they zoomed out, only to back up at the last second. And go watch the replay. That is what Adolis Garcia did. Garcia, after being physically separated from the fracas, Donnybrook, goes back, but then he holds up right before he gets to an Astros player. I know that we live in a hold me back culture in sports, but you instigated this situation by getting in Maldonado's face. I get it. You got hit. And there were moments in the past this season where clearly it was intentional that the Astros threw at him. Framber Valdez intentionally threw at Marcus Semien. I think we can all admit that. But this was not that. This is a totally different situation. This wasn't a game that was out of hand for the Astros with a starter who was unraveling. It was a 2-run game. Garcia lost his cool. He started the whole thing. And that Abreu got ejected, I think, is fucking ridiculous. And you know the reason that I love Dusty Baker so much? He's an affable guy, good-spirited, positive vibes only. It takes a lot to piss that guy off. And I could not be more proud of how our manager handled himself. And look, I know there's a lot of people that criticize Dusty Baker all the time. On my radio show, I fuck with you guys a lot. I do. It's fun. Some of the people that get so upset about the lineup decisions that Dusty Baker makes, no matter if you're justified or not, I thought he did a pretty good job in last year's postseason. I think the regular season is different than the postseason. But Baker lost his shit, rightfully so. Honestly, there was a moment, because we're watching the game on mute, where I wondered if somehow Dusty Baker got angry, but somehow, while angry, talked his way out of getting ejected. Because there's no audio, and we just see him sitting in the dugout while they were talking for a really long period of time. And they took a long time to resolve that situation. A situation that may have impacted Jose Leclerc. So Adolis Garcia might have actually hurt his pitcher, who had to wait a really long time to get back out there on the mound. And Dusty Baker added a little bit to it because he didn't go right to the clubhouse. I legitimately thought he talked his way out of an ejection. I don't know if that's actually possible. But he was so justified in being pissed, and he kept the tantrum going. And yeah, some people are going to look at it and say, I mean, he hit the batter. What did you expect? But, man, how can you not love Dusty Baker after that? That was fucking awesome. Seriously. I would tell him that in a press conference if I could. It would be probably unprofessional. My question to Dusty, hey, Dusty, you know when you started yelling at the umpires? That was awesome. That was awesome. That's all I would say. And here's the thing. I mean, he might have impacted Leclerc there. He really might have. Man. So that whole situation reminds me of a video game I used to play. I don't know how many people played the baseball video game MVP Baseball 2005. I had it for the Xbox, the original Xbox. And if you played this game, your manager could actually go onto the field to argue a call. Now, he would get ejected every single time he did it, but depending on when you did it, your players would get statistical boosts. There's a part of me, and again, it's real. We're living in real life. We're not living in some grand simulation of MVP Baseball 2005. But there was a moment in time where I was like, did that help? Number one, Yainer Diaz get that hit? Did that help? Number two, I'm going to brain fart here. Sorry. Did that help? Number two, John Singleton get that walk? Did that, number three, help Great Kessinger make that great play at shortstop in the 9th inning? When things got a little bit Ryan Stresley. They did get a little Stresley. He had to pitch a little bit longer than you expected him to. Great at-bat by Singleton. Let's read some of the comments. YouTube.com/Paul Gallant, Twitch.tv/Gallant says, I appreciate you guys joining me tonight. I am shocked by the amount of people that are here. This is making me very, very happy. Twitch.tv/Gallant says, Todd the show. I thought he might punch an ump. NJ Fuentes Respector. I've never been more proud of Dusty and Maldi. You know what? Maldi kept his cool too. They looked in the right. If you're watching that muted and I don't know, like maybe we're going to find out Maldi said something about it. And I'm not implicating that or alleging that. I'm just saying like they really kept their cool there. YouTube.com/Paul Gallant. Marine Michelle says Baker tried to fight that. It was awesome. Seriously was. Sports Sulk says that was the best game of the playoffs so far. Yeah, it did. These games are stressful though. You know, I'm a spoiled Astros fan. I like the easy wins a little bit better. But god damn, I can't believe fucking Altuve did that. Holy shit, man. Oh, what a fucking home run. That was incredible. 713 Flight brings up Jordan went to him because they're both Cuban. Look up Aroldis Chapman's story and how hard it was to get out of Cuba to play baseball. More comments here. Garcia acted like a little bitch. As someone with a temper, I could see myself getting in Maldi's face after that. But, I mean, it was clearly the guy that was out of control with the home run celebration and then that. And then the almost fighting but not fighting. Not a good looking combination. Like that move going back into the fight and stopping, that's the bitch move. I thought the rest of it, like, it's baseball. Kind of enjoy it. But going back in, that was kind of ridiculous. YouTube.com/Paul Gallant, Twitch.tv/Gallant says, Joseph Nunez says, we stayed humble. Well, you still should stay humble because it is only 3-2, and the Astros have struggled at home. I don't want to be a Debbie Downer right now. I am a little bit nervous about Framber Valdez on the hill for Game 6. They're going to have to show up early, the offense, and it took the Astros offense a little bit of time to get going against Jordan Montgomery. And Nathan Eovaldi, I mean, he's been a pretty damn good postseason pitcher. I know the Astros had success against him when he was with, I think they had success against him back in 2021, but 2018 when the Red Sox won the World Series, he was really, really good. So it's going to be Framber on the hill on Sunday. And yeah, I'd say from a expectations perspective, I really don't know what to expect. I hope that he has calmed down, that he has relaxed. But we know him. It doesn't take much for him to get unfocused. The good thing was there were some good moments in that start. I know he said he thought he pitched well, and it was soft contact. The 2 errors is where I get mad, like on the same play. But he did strike out, I want to say, 6 batters in that game. So that's what you got going in Game 6. You have a more rested Ryan Abreu, I guess. You did use Hector Neris. You did use Ryan Presley. This might be one of those games where you're going to maybe just spin a wheel of the bullpen alternatives. But it's nice that you do have tomorrow night off so that some of those guys can actually be rested. YouTube.com/Paul Gallant, Twitch.tv/Gallant says is also how you can join. Waka Flocka Bucks. Who made the call to pinch hit for Pena? Yeah, that's a good question. Alex Centrone? Did Dusty Baker come back in the dugout dressed like Bobby Valentine? Todd the Show says Dusty made all those calls. It's not like he was gone. It's true that he could have made those calls in the long period of time before the change of innings. What other comments do we have here? YouTube.com/Paul Gallant. Mike from the Ave says, as a Yankees fan, I tip the cap to you guys. Wish the Yankees front office was like you guys. I'm not like the other fans who are still on the cheating thing and get over it. You guys have a great team. Well, shout out to you, Mike from the Ave, and a tip of the hat to you. I do want the Yankees to continue to suck, but Brian Cashman sucks, and I don't understand what they're doing either. Truly. So a tip of the hat back. That's all we want. Just a little acknowledgement. I mean, this has been an incredible run. And it does get a little bit old to hear that, though outwardly we would never care because we're the best now. Andrew Ramirez says, benches clearing is not the same as it was back in the day. Back in the day, it was way more awesome, like Nolan Ryan going out with Ventura. Well, yeah, I guess that's the thing. You know, if you go out and square up with somebody, don't you have to follow through? Like, there's no half measures in something like that. If you want to fight the guy, fight the guy. But I bet that Adolis Garcia knew, if I do anything further, I'm out of the next game of the series. And this was not the end of the series. So it really was a boneheaded move. And I do wonder, I doubt that there will be suspensions. No hands were thrown. But, I mean, imagine if he had thrown hands and the Rangers lost. Garcia is really good against the Astros. He always has been really good against the Astros. And I mean, I get losing your head, but, you know, this is why during a run like this by the Astros, where we can look down our noses following this team and watching the teams that they play against just do dumb shit. It didn't directly cost the Rangers, and I don't know that it directly changed the momentum and got the Astros back on track. But stuff like that is what a team that's new to this does. You know, we talk about all the time El Reptil and how different he is from Framber Valdez, who I was just talking about. But the composure of this team is huge. It's how a guy like Yainer Diaz, who hasn't been hitting well in the postseason, can come in a situation like that and get a single off of the Rangers' most trusted reliever left. It's how, at the same time, John Singleton can stand in there with a strike zone that we all know was very inconsistent, very all over the place, and take all of those balls that, honestly, I felt like a couple of innings before probably would have been called strikes. But he had Stones there. He sat in there. He gets walked. And then, of course, you get Jose Altuve. Let's nitpick a little bit. Again, I was annoyed with the bases loaded 1-out situation in this sixth. You can't get anything more than that. Ultimately, it doesn't matter. But you had opportunities here, and you did play with your food a little bit. I am wondering about the back of the order. And look, Maldonado did get a walk. But Jeremy Pena, I'm wondering about. He's so good defensively. But, I mean, you're hoping for a single at this point. You're not expecting power. He just hasn't done anything from a power perspective in months. It's been a while. So I wonder what they do there. An 0 for 3 night for McCormick. Top of the order got it done, though. Maybe not Mauricio Dubon, but the top of the order did get it done. A side note, who of you is sick of that fucking warning track? I hate that goddamn warning track. I am so glad that we don't have to see another game at Globe Life. It felt like the Astros had, over the last couple of games, 12, 13, 14 well-hit flyouts to that fucking warning track. Fuck that warning track. Why do you hate the warning track, Paul? It's just a warning track. It's not harming anybody. No one's torn their ACL on it, like several of your high school football teammates since you practiced on a baseball field for some reason at Shorecrest Preparatory School. No one got hurt. But fuck, the amount of times where I'm like, is that gone? Is it gone? That's where it's nice to play in this little miniature mini golf ballpark like Minute Maid Park, because more often than not, it's just gone. When in doubt, just assume it is out. YouTube.com/Paul Gallant. Twitch.tv/Gallant says, Victor Ramirez, Astros versus everybody else. Yes, I agree. Efrod, Stros versus all y'all. I do like that. The villain element of this is probably the most fun. For those who do not know me as well, maybe you're looking at me for the first time. I've been living in Houston since 2011. I worked over at Sports Radio 610, the Texans flagship, for about a decade doing the night show there. If you were listening to the radio back in 2017 when the Astros won, we did a broadcast, a post-game show that went from 8 p.m. to 4 a.m. on 610. It was a lot of fun. We had a lot of famous Houston people call in. I think Bun B called in. ESG, Slim Thug might have called in. It was a blast. We had a party. I drank a whole bottle of champagne. But I'm not originally from here. I'm originally from Massachusetts. And if you can see in the background to my left, there's a picture of Tom Brady there. I grew up a Patriots fan, still a diehard Patriots fan. Want to see the Texans succeed, obviously, but not a good year for the Patriots thus far. But as a Patriots fan, to bring it back to the Astros, like I kind of get what it's like to be hated, to win all the time, to think that everyone thinks that you're cheating. Everyone thinks that everything you've done is tarnished. Like, I really relate with this. And I do love this feeling that you get where you get to be the villain. Like, everyone fucking hates you. You are what the Yankees used to be. Apologies to our Yankee fan friend who is hanging out with us here. Like, you're what the Yankees used to be. Right now, at least. How long will it continue? I don't know. I had someone comment on one of my TikToks, tiktok.com/Gallant says. And I'm not talking about the many Rangers fans who have said my TikToks where I was so calm and so rational with the Astros down 0-2. Go back and look. Your boy's been a fucking steady hand throughout this and always has been with this team because I have blind faith in them like I did in my Patriots back in the day. But I have not heard from the people who are saying that my confidence and my cockiness with them down 0-2 has, quote, aged well. Haven't heard from them. The series has aged okay for me, but there's still one more game to get to, you know? Like the Rangers, it's not a 3-game series like, you know, your first playoff series. Not a 5-game series like, you know, your second playoff series. And in game 5, Adolis Garcia. It's not game 7. It's not, the stakes aren't quite as high. Sometimes you just have to explain baseball to the unwashed masses, you know? You little people. So I hope there's a couple of Rangers fans in here right now. I have noticed, but I bite my tongue. Until I don't. Cannot wait for that. We got like 295 people in here now. I think it's time that we play the Astros song again.
Why did they argue the umpire's call? Why did the fielders crash into walls? Why do you think the pitchers throw smoke? Why do you think they go for broke? Who says it's only a game? Why do the catchers wear iron masks? Why do they dive for the dive on the grass? Why do they go head first into home? Why do the losers feel all alone? Who says it's only a game?
You guys can hear this, right?
Give it all you got.
The war's not over till the final shot.
It's pride and glory and fame.
Who says it's only a game?
Why do you think they call them spikes? Why do you think they call them strikes? Why do they give it more than they've got? Why do they always reach for the top?
Who says it's only a game? With me now, Astros baseball. Who says it's only a game? Oh, goodness gracious, guys. All right, at this point, I am just running off of what you guys want to talk about. I will hang out as long as you guys want me, as long as you guys will have me. I'm very excited. I'm very happy to be here with y'all. I'm so happy to be back. It was 2 years in Seattle. The people of Seattle are nice. They've always been kind to me. But holy fuck. It's so good to be back and cover this team again. Jadorian says the Macarena and DFS, DFG is not dancing. I mean, I was dancing. I'm sitting in a chair. I haven't even drank yet. Sober October is still going. I haven't touched the beard since the playoffs began. I have showered. You know, you gotta shower. You don't want to stink. But look, like I haven't drank. I have not drank this entire playoff run. The last drink I had was right before in that game against the Diamondbacks. I want to say it was the third to last game of the year. I got that drink right before Jose Abreu hit that double off the center field wall, and it was a home run, you thought at first, but it ended up being a double. Just Jorkin says, don't drink, it's working. Todd the Show says, my liver hates October. I'm not going to lie. La Grasa, who's a regular listener on ESPN 97.5 and 92.5, he kept on coming up to me, and he kept on trying to get me a drink. And I'm like, bro, fuck off. I want a drink. I kept on looking over to all the buckets of Coors Light that John Granato had got for us, and I'm thinking to myself, shit, like maybe I should take one. Maybe I should get one. Maybe I get that one. Alpha Turtle asks, Paul, let's hit the streets. Where can we find you tonight? I'm probably going to Kirby Ice House in a little bit. One of my friends just texted me that they're going there. That's kind of close to me. It's not that close to me. But I'll be out there. I will not be drinking. Let's see if they have like iced coffee or drink Topo Chico. I am so tempted though. You guys don't understand. October is my favorite month from a sports perspective, but for those who care, I felt like I needed to take a break. I was going a little bit too crazy. I am 34 years old after all. Sometimes you got to act like an adult, at least a little bit. What else do we have here? Jesse says, some Rangers fans must learn the art of keeping their mouths shut until the series is over. Even if we are winning 3-2, I would not shove that in their face, just like they did with the 2-0 lead they had. Well, they're going to learn it. Like this is how it goes. I think a lot of the people like that jump on a baseball bandwagon are generally casual fans, so they jump on like that. I think you learned it from Philadelphia last year. I bet, and again, knock on wood, but if the Astros make it to a World Series against the Phillies, I think Phillies fans are going to be a lot more been there, done that before than they were last year. And look, they're still going to be Philadelphian. I'm half Philadelphian by blood, so I kind of get my family. They all act like that. They're a little crazy. But, yeah, man. What else do we have? The celebrities that showed up for the Rangers were sent home with tears by our little Tuve. That is true. White man's burden, the drink in the baseball's playoffs. Jadorian, I'm not going to drink. Stop hating. Oh, it's Chewy. What's up, man? It's Chewy. Was out with us at East River 9. He likes the one near Kirby. I learned that in 2017 when the Yankees were up 3-2. Oh, yeah. You know what? I went to Game 6, and that was my first moment of blind Astros faith. I remember going on the radio before Game 6. Was Game 6 a Saturday or a Friday? I forget. I think it was a Friday. Might have been a Saturday. Yeah, it was a Saturday because I was working nights then. So it was on a Saturday. Wait, no. No, because Game 7 was the next night. So it was on a Friday. And I remembered going to that game. I'm feeling like Verlander's got this. They're going to be fine. And ever since then, I would trust fall with the Houston Astros. 100% trust fall. Sauron's Wrath says it was a Friday. Shout out to Sauron. Sauron had some ideas. I'm just kidding. Sauron just thought elves were annoying. Just can you guys stop living until you're 8 million years old? YouTube.com/Paul Gallant. Twitch.tv/Gallant says is how you jump in. What else do we have here? Scrolling through. Ooh, happy to meet you. That's a great comment. This game is as big as the Kiss of Death. Kiss of Death by Mario Ellie. You know, I have a Mario Ellie jersey entirely by that. Do you want me to reenact the Kiss of Death here for a second? Well, let's do it. Oh, yeah, it says right hand. I had to check which one it was. I'm watching it right now. The NBA's got it up there. There he is in the corner. Bombs away. Altuve did point to the heavens afterwards. Hashtag, thank you, God, who clearly loves the Astros. What does that say about society who hates them? Did they pick the wrong religion? Did they pick the wrong team? Many people are asking. YouTube.com/Paul Gallant. Twitch.tv/Gallant says, damn, my voice is going. Cooper Media says, if we never lost against the Nationals or Braves, I wouldn't be so humble. Yeah, that's what happens, man. Everyone goes through it. Baseball in particular. Baseball, it's been fucking hard. The Yankees are the last team that actually won back-to-back titles, right? It's been a while. shit, like the Giants who won so many, what did they win, like 3 in 5 years? They haven't. The Red Sox who have won 4 since 2004, like they haven't either. It's really hard to do it. And I mean, the Astros have been the closest thing to it. But again, they got to take care of business. I respect the Rangers baseball team. Maybe not Rangers fans as much, and I'm going to continue to be a condescending asshole to them. But because it's fun. It's fun. It's not personal. I just like getting under people's skin. That's sort of what I am. That's what I'm paid to do. I'm a paid troll who's sometimes funny, but only to certain fan bases. I'd say sometimes funny. My boss back in Seattle one time brought me into a meeting, and he was like, Paul, you're not funny. And I wanted to die. And I was like, fuck, here I am working for a company that did treat me well, for the most part. But they're owned by the Church of Latter-day Saints, and I can't talk about drinking, and I can't talk about gambling, and I can't swear. I got in trouble once for swearing online. I said asshole. Just Joking 1210 says, this is my World Series. Don't say that. Don't say that. Come on, man. We have higher standards than that. Sauron's Wrath says the World Series is the craziest series in baseball. Nothing ever goes as expected. Again, we're not there yet. I say we. Oh, God, it feels good to say, doesn't it? Todd the Show says, don't go to the Kirby in the Woodlands. You seem like you want people to go to the Kirby in the Woodlands, though. Todd. RSAM12. Will Fromber be in the zone Sunday? I honestly, I wish I knew. I don't have the answer to that. I truly don't. I don't feel great, I'll be honest. This year's just been so up and down for him. I suppose he's due for a good start. But, I mean, they got on him early. I think the good news is, though, I mean, you got a lot of pressure on you if you're Nathan Eovaldi. You got to last long. The Rangers used all of their big arms. And I know there's a day off, so theoretically they'll be able to go again. But when you're down 3-2 and you're working without the support, that's a lot. To the Eovaldi's credit, Houston area guy, like, he's generally been nails in the playoffs, but I mean, he has to avoid a quick start by the Astros, who you know are going to be looking for it. You know they're going to smell blood early. You know that Jose Altuve is going to swing at the first pitch, which honestly, another nitpick about tonight's game, I wish they were a little more patient with Jordan Montgomery. Eventually they got to him, but at first, man, they were chasing everything. And, you know, compare that approach with the approach against Leclerc, the way it should have been, where they sat back and were patient. That clearly worked. And I remember going back to game 2, they kind of lost their composure when Leclerc was in there. I think it was Chas McCormick, where he's throwing ball after ball, and McCormick just struck out some pitches that weren't balls. What else do we have here? I think that's going to wrap it up, guys. If you watch for the first time, thank you so much. This was fun. We'll be back at it Sunday night. It's probably going to be a little bit later on Sunday night because it does take me a while to get back from Minute Maid Park. I'm going to have to do a little sideline report, and all that. And on top of that, if there's a game 6, or excuse me, a game 7 too, same on Monday. But appreciate you. If you want to see more content like this, whether it's on my radio show every day or on Twitch, youtube.com/Paul Gallant, hit the like button, hit the subscribe button. I don't even know what the buttons are. Twitch.tv/Gallant Says if you're more of a Twitch person. And I'm on Twitter, @Gallant Says. Thank you so much. This was fun. What a win. Jose Altuve's the fucking GOAT. So long. Farewell. Have yourselves a wonderful Friday. We'll be back at it Sunday night. Until then,